What's going on, everyone? Badger here. For years, Assassin's Creed fans had wanted an Assassin's Creed set in Japan with the samurai. It'd been hinted at, it'd been talked about, it'd been teased with the 2D adventure, the side-scrolling games. And then finally, we heard that we were getting Assassin's Creed Shadows. But unfortunately, it was during the height or thereafter of BLM and the summer of love and then COVID lockdowns. And it led to a lot of fun things, a lot of DEI and ESG scores, and all those things that we had to go through that are still around, kinda, but nowhere near what it was, where essentially places like Ubisoft and other gaming studios would get money from investment firms like a BlackRock, State Street, or Vanguard, and then they would push certain ideals. And by all accounts, that is 100% what happened with Assassin's Creed Shadows. People inside of Ubisoft basically saying that, oh yeah, we had a whole different protagonist who was shockingly a Japanese man, Yama Tamaguchi, and he was going to be a monk and a whole thing. And then because of George Floyd and the cultural zeitgeist, all those socio-political things, they changed it to Yasuke, the dubious real-life samurai, which has yet to be confirmed. Went into the minutia of what the hell a retainer means and capital S samurai who was a lord and owned land, and like member of the samurai who cleaned up the stalls or whatever, but would still be considered in the grander group, but was not a samurai themselves. It got into all of that when, bro, all we're trying to do is assassinate Templars in ancient Japan. Well, finally, one of its own shareholders questioned Yves Guillemot. He is, of course, the CEO of Ubisoft, and they've already now, remember, separated Assassin's Creed and a couple other things over into its own little berth. So Yves, of course, this is the question he was asked by a shareholder. First of all, regarding Assassin's Creed Shadows, there's been a lot of controversy regarding that game. How do you respond? Ubisoft has been accused and criticized for this wokest trend. This is happening in 16th century medieval Japan. And the main character is an African samurai. That's a bold choice by Ubisoft. And in the story, he falls in love. That's one of the possibilities, that he gets to fall in love with a transgender character. So woke or no woke? And I can hear the cries now. It's optional if you play as Yasuke. You don't need to play as him for the main. This is all coping and getting away from the question. And also the cries of like the romance is optional. Okay. And then if they'll maybe get ballsy, right? And he'll say that we also Satoshi Hora Smith or whatever, that corrupted historian, sexual historian, that basically if you hear what she was talking about, she basically only writes about gay relationships back in the 1600s. So that's right, your authority figure that you would point to that we consulted with. So let's see how he addresses all of those claims. There's one thing that you need to consider when you get to play the game. You understand that the game is full of characters, and the characters actually blend in with the game. No, they don't. Every game is full of characters, by the way. It's not empty. And no, they don't blend in. That is specifically why we're pointing out that the big 6-foot+ black dude in ancient Japan in samurai armor does not blend in. The tranny characters do not blend in. The open gay relationships do not blend in. That's the point. It breaks verisimilitude or the believability of the world. And I know people go, well, we don't have genetic. This is the same thing with superheroes, where we complain about a city can't be evacuated in 10 minutes. And then they go, oh, but you believe a man can fly? It's like, well, that's the point. The more outrageous things that you ask us to believe, like there used to be a whole nother race of beings that genetically created us to enslave us and a bunch of their artifacts are lost. That's a very big idea to get people to believe. So the bigger the ask to believe like that, the smaller the little things have to make sense, i.e., there were not open gay relationships in the 1600s. There were not black samurai. Basically, and all the people, the Lockleys that fucking said it was, they all got ignominiously removed from their schools. So he's yet to address it, other than saying characters and the characters blend in. They don't. Obviously, with regard to this particular game, what was our goal? We wanted to showcase characters with heroic journeys. Everyone wants to play a hero's journey. You shift your circumstances and you become something more, and it's a very powerful expectation from games. This is a hero quest, and it doesn't just apply to Ubisoft or manga series or This is an actual character. This is someone who really existed. Someone named Yasuke did, but what they did and their skills, that's something else. And showcasing that character has been extremely successful. Press X to doubt. And that is why we decided to tell that story. He wanted to tell a different story. So he basically completely ignored every single, not one point did he actually refute about the wokeness, and that's because you can't refute it, because it is the definition. We hopped, skipped, and jumped over progressive, and we went straight to woke ESG DEI talking points, and it unfortunately is reflected in the sales. So, and we saw this from the beginning. They could talk about how many people played it based on the streaming game services and all of that, but when it comes to actual monies, it did not. It did not. So while they're saying it had results to their own shareholders, they had to explain that, yeah, look at all this. Look at how many people are playing it. And then, well, how many units sold? Oh, wow. Why would you talk about units sold? We're just talking about people playing it. Originally, basically all their estimates continued to get lower and lower and lower. And this in conjunction with Star Wars Outlaws, which, yeah, it's not just the wokeness. It's also that Ubisoft is a hated company that keeps releasing broken games that with bloated open worlds that they sell you boosters and map packs in order to make things go faster because it's artificially bloated. So you do that. That's the other reason it didn't sell as much. But the proof really is in the pudding. And that's that the game never had more than 64,000 people playing it. In the past 24 hours, it doesn't have 5,000 people playing it. And yet a game like Claire Obscure, which everyone should be playing, had over 145,000 people peak. Like, for a game as big as Assassin's Creed, they should have seen hundreds of thousands of players. And just like Dragon Age, they never showed up for all the aforementioned reasons. And sometimes just a combination of all of them. So, yeah, that's what it is. That's the story, Morning Glory. Let me know what you think about all this. F Ubisoft. Make sure to like, share, and sub. If you have done that, thank you. If you're going to do that, thank you.
Well,